You're listening to the Miami Guides podcast.
Tough to compare to the Miami market, as you know. The Miami market's an anomaly in itself, in a great way. It's just so vibrant and such a melting pot of different cultures and personalities.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Miami Guide podcast. Today we have a great guest on the show. He is the owner of a technology company that delivers alcohol right here in Miami, and they've been expanding fast in the rest of Florida. His name is Russ Bruce, founder and CEO of LiquorSplit. Russ has built a great team and they've been seen all over Miami building their brands. With him, I talked about how they got started and what we can expect from them in the future. Also, we have a special code for our listeners. If you download the LiquorSplit app and input code MIA Guides, you will get 15% off of everything. So, MIA Guides, tap that app and you're ready to order. So stay tuned for an inspiring story coming up right now.
You guys do a great job. I see and follow you on the gram.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we love your support. And we are seeing you all over Miami, a lot of events. We met up with some of your team as well. I think like last year at the Brickle Wine and Food Fest, and you guys are all over the place.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Miami's a fun playground, right? So it's a vibrant, fun city. We love to be a part of it. Part of the fabric of it. And Coral Gables is a beautiful area. We have a location down there that we have that serves all that southern tier of South Miami as well. So yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment as director of comms. So thank you for the fact that you've seen us around.
Yeah, for sure. We tried to get out there as much as we possibly could, and get our brand exposed and let everybody know about us, and talk about the company and what we do, and it was we've been really well received since inception. So
it's competitive for sure.
Right.
Competitive.
Yeah. And I don't know, we hosted the Air and Sea show this past year on Memorial Day weekend for Miami Beach. We co-hosted it with a Hyundai. So that was a big one for us. Put us in a whole different league. And that came off really well and got a great response from all that.
What inspired you to start LiquorSplit?
Well, the laws, I noticed the law change about 8 or 9, probably maybe even the decades passed by now. That pandemic kind of throws a couple years in there that you miss. But I was out in Los Angeles on the West Coast, and I saw Saucy come out, and they were doing an app, and then they would attach themselves to a retailer, and then was working with third-party deliverers like Uber to pull this off, to be able to deliver alcohol to you. So once I saw the laws change a little bit, and I saw someone, attempting this, a third-party delivery, which wasn't allowed before, it stuck in my mind a little bit. It was something that I thought was very unique, and if something can be done there, I'd like to be a part of it. So that kind of probably was the first time I saw anything like it, and then years went by, and I was building a music app. For a social platform for a music app. And when I came off that project, I just kind of had an aha moment of being able to, put it on an app, but I'd want to, Amazon was obviously coming, very full effect at that point. I was watching their momentum and I kind of put the two together in my head. I said, to do this correctly, the innovation would be to have your systems in place, have your tech systems in place and management systems in place to handle everything from, bringing it in from the manufacturer, managing the inventory, and then being able to provide a frictionless experience through our technology platform via app to DTC, direct to the consumer, by kind of having your hands managing that within the three-tiered system. You can provide a great service at a low cost, rather than the disenfranchised systems that are out there, like Drizzly and Minibar, all great concepts. But every time you disenfranchise and you partner with a retailer, and then they partner with a third-party delivery, the service fees adds up. The inventory is hard for them to keep correct all the time. Prices fluctuate, time fluctuates, and so the end result to the consumer is not the best. And I thought that with some real thinking on this and some hard work, I thought I could bring a more superior model to the space. We're a technology company that delivers alcohol. Tech is our base on it all, and so your tech is you're always working on it. You're trying to make it better. There's glitches. You coders out there trying to fix them as quick as they go. But so I'd have to just put, technology is always, I think, your toughest thing that and it continues to, as in technology space, it moves so fast. So you've got to be out in front of it all the time. I like to think I'm good at. I like to be out in the space before it really, you're not chasing it, but you're kind of leading it. So I try to stay out there, but the technology is always the challenge to keep bettering it and make it a better experience for not only our systems, but for our users as well through our data.
Okay. And technology-wise, is that something you do in-house, or do you have do you outsource your technology, your developments?
Good question. We have it in-house. We have our own coders, and we have a CTO, and we have a team. We have IT guys and systems guys, and gals. And so no, we do. We keep it in-house. We're a national play, so we're rolling this out to all the NFL cities. So once I proved it out and seen that this had legs, and what I've been working on is working, and people are responsive to it in a good way. Our reviews are phenomenal. Then I started hiring coders and building a team within LiquorSplit.
Since you started, what has been a major success for your company?
I would say the response, seeing our consumer base rise at a very, very high growth level. So the consumers are very happy with our service. And I'd say, I was been fortunate enough of picking the right people for the right job. I've built a really, really solid team. So that's been a big success for the company, because that team has enabled us to, let's say if we did a time frame, took me about 12 months, maybe 13 months to prove out LiquorSplit and in one location, and it added another 2, in 15 months I had 2 locations. And then 6 months later, I've had 2 more in Tampa. And now I'm ready to put 4 more in the next 2 months. So, we're in a very hyper growth phase. And the only way you can do that is with a phenomenal team. So I'd like to say that that's probably our biggest success, is our team and our consumers that this is resonating with.
I think you guys have a great team. I've met up with some of them, some of the events in Miami, in Coral Gables and the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. Yep. So great team. How big is your team at the moment?
Right around 50.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're mostly in Florida, Tampa, Miami.
Yes.
How do you find that the Tampa crowd compares to the Miami market?
Tough to compare to the Miami market, as you know. The Miami market's an anomaly in itself, in a great way. It's just so vibrant and such a melting pot of different cultures and personalities. So Tampa has that Florida vibe. for sure. You're on the beaches over here. You're in the boats and a lot that Miami has. There's a common thread there. But I'd say that on the West Coast here in Tampa, that's a little bit more Midwesterners from America that settled down here, or they're vacationing, or their second homes are down here. A little less of the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, and a little less Latino population. Obviously, Miami's got a very, very heavy Latino population, and a little less of that here. But the common thread is it's Florida. Cities on the water, having fun in the sun. All those are pretty much interchangeable.
Is there also a lot of difference in what they drink?
Yeah, there is. The big ones, everybody, you could pick 20 of the, Tito's and the Tito's of the world, and the, Jamesons of the world. They're always selling, but more of a whiskey bourbon crowd over here. Miami, more of a tequila vodka crowd. More of a craft beer on this side. We're seeing more of that. Wine's pretty similar. But I'd say those are your biggest differentiators. And, the seltzers are big on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Is that like the most popular product at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say in the categories, seltzers is the fastest growing that we've seen since we've incepted. That's just been such an emerging market. And it makes logical sense. When I look at it. If you go back prior to seltzers, you got your cooler, you have your ice, you have your mixer, you have your cup, you have your spirit, you have a piece of fruit to throw in it. That's a lot. You got to have a traveling bar if you to make one cocktail. Whether you're on the beach, you're in your boat, or you're enjoying it on the dock or wherever. Now all of a sudden you just reach in and grab all of it in one can. So I get it, and I'm a victim of it myself,
Right. It's so easy.
It's easy. Yeah. And they make them taste good, and they're a little lower volume, so you can drink responsibly, enjoy your day, and you're not, getting over your ski tips. So I think it's a good thing.
You guys grown so fast, opened multiple locations, and you have your new app now. What have worked best to grow your company?
Ambition. I'd say ambition, persistence, and consistency. I'd say is the three ingredients for it. My eye is on the NFL cities. I think. I think building in those markets and having points of presence in those markets are it puts a pretty big benchmark out there. For us to grow and expand in those markets, I think that's going to be our first rollout. I am going to dabble in some of the tourist spots. I think I'm going to go up the East Coast first, and that'll kind of balance out seasonality too. And I think you'll get some cross-pollination with brand, meaning, if you're up in the Hamptons or you're in New York, and you're vacationing, your vacation home, you're a snowbird and you're coming to Florida for the winter, then I hope you're coming to Jacksonville or Miami or Tampa, and you see and enjoy LiquorSplit. And then when you go back home, and we're get up in New York and Jersey and the New England area, I think there'd be some cross-pollination of we've used these guys. We use these guys down in Miami. We were down there. They're great. We love LiquorSplit. Wow. Now they're in New York, they're in Boston, so I think that's going to be the rollout, and it's just pure ambition and drive to get it done.
How do you market your business? How do you get your name out?
We have our channels, we have our social channels that we lean into. We've done, we've tried it all, to be straight with you, Mike. I mean, you try it all, right? You throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. Like you mentioned on your show here, we were involved in a lot of events in Miami just to get the word out. We're not an event company, but we're there to support those festivals and to get our name out and to be a part of the fabric of Miami. And I think we're going to continue that as we go forward. We're going to go into larger events, that's where I kind of graduated to the Air and Sea Show. We're not, our model doesn't support doing a ton of little events, but it was a great way as a startup, obviously, to get our name out there. But I think what you'll see us do is come into a city and, we'll pick 2 or 3 events that are big so we can reach a lot of people at one time, and work with our brand partners on sponsorship and get involved there. That's going to be, we'll continue that. Direct marketing, we do that. That seems to work really well. Word of mouth is always the best, so in our world, the tech world, the reviews are huge. People are always looking at that. So that's so that having that posted. But also I looked at, Uber and DoorDash and all these great companies out there with, they've all kind of leaned into the alcohol space as something they deliver. And I didn't want to work against them. Obviously, they're giants and they're really, really good at what they do as marketing and logistics go. And so we've partnered with them. We have our own app and we have our own drivers and have our own platform, and we proved all that out. But also, they've got some pain points in their model that we're able to solve. And so, we're able to fulfill and give them a consistent inventory system to look at, consistent pricing, consistent hours of operation. And we're going to continue to work with them as we grow. And that also, you'll find our platform, LiquorSplit, on the Uber app, on the DoorDash app, the Grubhubs and the Drizzlies. You'll find us there because, I look at it as a good partnership. They're giving us some great exposure, and we're able to fulfill their consumers and obviously ours as well, at a much better speed and pricing and variety. We could continue that very consistently. So we use their apps as well to get our name out there.
That's great. Great idea to be on multiple platforms, to be where your audience is. I also read something that you guys are also big in giving back. Can you tell us something about that? How you guys are giving back and why that is important?
Yeah, sure. That's kind of our mission in the company. I look at it like, we have a pretty big homeless crisis going on in America, and I wasn't going to profiteer off of alcohol without kind of notice, taking a look at the dark side of that and where that kind of lands with the homeless crisis. So, what we immediately did once I got to where we're proved concept out and we started, bringing in, some heavy orders where we actually could make a difference here. So I contacted with 3 charities, all of them within the homeless, 2 of them veterans, which is one is Pets for Vets, that give rescue dogs to the wounded vets, and the other is a national coalition to homeless vets. And then I picked a local homeless, the Mission Rescue in Miami, and we donate $1 of every delivery to those charities. So we kind of dubbed it "Every Delivery Makes a Difference." So every city we go to, I'll find a local missionary that's doing a really good work with the homeless chapter, and we'll keep adding those on as we go. So that's we're trying to make do our part in donating and helping that cause, and we'll lean into that cause as we grow further on.
Can you tell something about what we can expect from you in the future? What are your future plans?
Well, we're gonna, like I mentioned, we're gonna go after the NFL cities. I think you'll see us go up the East Coast first, and then we'll migrate west. I'd like to see us in all the NFL cities that are not in controlled states. Probably in the next 3 years would be my estimation on getting involved and have points of presence in every city. And I have a licensing model that will be rolling out. We started it already on a test pilot, but we're gonna land in every NFL, and then we'll expand with our licensing and franchise model, which is a pretty new thing that we're piloting right now.
Great, great. Why especially NFL? Do you have a favorite team?
Well, I got to say the Dolphins, right?
Right.
So no, it's just if an NFL, I'm a big believer in looking at the big giants out there and how they've done things and learning from different companies that went and how they've rolled out nationally and in tech companies and just in a lot of different markets. So I do a lot of reading there, and I have for a long time. I've done this since 1993. I've been doing startups and exits for a long time now, on a variety of things, stretching out. And I was out in Seattle for a long time with sports bars out there that we did a national chain and some coffee shops. And so, being involved in that early on and just reading and meeting some great CEOs and founders and how they did it, that, when a city can support an NFL team, basically a rule of thumb is, if you want to be big, you want to play big. So those are the markets you want to be in. You want to be in the big markets that, if you were either going to take this to an IPO and, that's going to sit real well on an IPO that we're in those markets. Or if an acquisition came along, that's also going to, put a big standard out there that, we didn't just go to the smaller markets and build it in small cities. We're in the biggest markets of the US.
Especially Miami has seen a lot of growth as well, and Florida in general.
Yes. Yeah. And we're, that's a good point. We were here prior to the pandemic. I was working on this prior to it and got involved, obviously jumped in, and then, I always try to give my hat tip to the mayor, Francis, then him reaching out and making, Miami the new Silicon Valley of the East Coast was phenomenal. I think he did a great job, and he's doing a great job as a mayor. He's a good opportunist for growth and, for business in the community. So then obviously now we have all these great tech companies over here, and the funding came down following it from all parts of the country. So that was just a cherry on the cake for us. Was like, I didn't see that coming, but I'm sure glad it did, so we're able to go to the events and meet other entrepreneurs and founders and funders. And, it's just a phenomenal synergy now in this space. And I think without a doubt, have to give a lot of credit to Francis for doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he has been pushing tech a lot. Who is your biggest inspiration?
Well, in the business field, if we're staying in this space, it's I'd say Jeff Bezos he's created quite a company. When you think of, I was out in Seattle when he started his book company called Amazon, obviously.
Right.
So I watched all that launch, and I actually had his stock at a very low number. Wish I still had it. Unfortunately, I don't. But,
okay.
But I was out in there during the .coms, that whole era. So I saw a lot of great companies come up into the Seattle area, and obviously coming out of Silicon. So I was privileged to be part of some of that, and I just watching what he did in his vision and taking it to what it is now. I find somebody to go alongside of that. He stands out quite a bit in the field that I've involved myself in with the logistics, in the warehousing, and the technology that makes that all operate. So he's been a big inspiration to see what he did with, he took a space that was starting to fail. He saw where it could be, brought up into the tech space, which was books, right? But that was just how he got into it, and then how he evolved was amazing, and Uber's is really close to, I would say, what I'm trying to do here, due to they took on a regulatory space in a similar capacity. They're not warehousing, but they went into the transportation space, highly regulatory, and made it a frictionless experience for the consumers. And that's what I'm doing here with alcohol is, I'm getting into the regulatory space, and I think it's an antiquated space. And I think it continue to be developed into a very, very seamless and frictionless experience on how we can get alcohol without having to go down to the liquor store and, carry heavy breakable bottles into your car and park and rinse, lather, and repeat. I think you can stay home. There's a safety element to it. If you had a few drinks, you're not driving, and we can bring it to you. And as long as we can get it to you with under 50 minutes and without a bunch of service fees and getting banged over the head, and we can keep our value there, I think that this is how people will adopt to how they purchase and receive alcohol in the future.
Well, it's great what you guys are doing, and I really like seeing you at the events. Thank you so much, Russ. It was great talking to you and to listen to your story, and I wish you all good luck.
Well, we thank you for having us on, and again, that code is MIA Guide, and just LiquorSplit, tap that app and just keep on tapping.
All right. Thank you so much, Russ.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your time.
All right. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Miami Guide podcast as much as we enjoyed creating it. Well, you can find more information about our guest in the show notes. And if you haven't subscribed to our show yet, please take out your phone right now and subscribe to the Miami Guide podcast so that you don't have to miss another show. All of our episodes are also on our website, themiamiguide.com. And I would love to hear your feedback about the episodes. I appreciate if you'd leave me a review on iTunes. Well, we have more episodes coming up. We're brewing with ideas, stories and content we can't wait to share with you. Well, once again, my name is Mike, and I'm here to inspire you with amazing stories, capturing the vibes of Miami, and help you discover the magic of this city. You can follow us online everywhere as The Miami Guide, on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, themiamiguide.com. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next episode.